Hey everybody, welcome to another question and answer. We're just talking off screen here, off camera, whatever you want to call it, about Jimmy. You haven't been okaying a lot of people as the
I
administrator.
think somebody has been taking my job.
Oh really? Is Patrick doing it before you? Or?
You know what? I don't even see it. I don't know. Maybe it's my phone. I don't know.
Maybe you've been blocked. Oh wow. That's
I got a few suspicious messages. I have to block them. A little creeped out.
I know that's not true, but we're up to what, 24, 25,000 subscribers on.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that the number? You come
Almost
up?
25.
25, almost 25. That's great. I have a feeling a lot of people move on. They become expert upholsterers, and
They're using you.
I said, now I don't need this guy.
Don't you know?
This
Did
guy.
your mother say not to point scissors? That's the number one rule.
What is it with this guy? What's he selling? What's he
I
selling?
just approved 20 members on the Facebook forum. We have 600 members now.
Really, Patrick?
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking Facebook
Yeah.
forum now. Right. So speaking of, but before I get on, moving on, we're a little late today. You advertised 3:30. I wanted to tell.
4:30. We're early.
Oh, we're early.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Well, I'm late getting.
I don't think it's that bad.
I'm
yeah.
late getting to the studio. We're supposed to be doing a filming class, which is, we'll talk about that. That's up here, Jimmy, in a minute. But I wanted to
Is that what
talk
that is? Yeah.
a little bit about this
Put some-
customer that came in to make me late. She's a good customer. She's an old customer. And it was an interesting, I think Michaela would be interested in this. I felt really good helping this woman with fabric. She came in, she's got two small side chairs that she's trying to match into a living room that I did most of the work in. She has a damask sofa that's a very plain, ordinary kind of off green. And then she has an oriental carpet, and then she had two throw pillows. She was trying to match all this, Michaela. Imagine all these elements. The two throw pillows were very colorful throw pillows, floral, I think, and the oriental carpet. And she wanted, I advised her on the chairs to do something like they're almost like accent pieces. She can have a little fun with the chairs. So, and you sent samples to her, Susan. Her name is Susan McKellar. You might remember. You sent samples, and those samples didn't work. But so she came in today, and we really got down and found a really beautiful fabric in the Elizabeth Ann, what is it? Anna Elizabeth collection. And it was, the color's called Wisteria, which I don't know if that means anything to you. What does the color Wisteria mean? It's a floral, and it's called Wisteria.
I think it's like a purple.
Yeah, it had purple in it for sure, but it had all the colors. It was, so the remarkable thing, that was remarkable enough, she finally found a fabric, right? She's not a difficult customer. She just knows what she wants. So after that, I called.
So after you woke up.
Well, after you spend an hour with somebody finding a fabric, you hope that the fabric's available. So this is the point I want to make.
Oh, okay.
So I called the company.
Mm-hmm.
She needed 6 yards, and she wanted a sample, a big sample. So they had 6 1/4 yards, and I asked her, would a quarter of a yard? They cut the sample off the yardage. She was happy with the quarter of a yard sample, so it worked out perfectly. So sometimes it just works out. Yeah, really, because
you know.
it's $148 a yard.
No way.
Yeah, and she was happy with the 6 yards, and she's got to. Now I haven't sold the job yet. She has to get the sample, but I'm pretty sure she's going to do it. But
No, you look
such
like,
is the life. So this is
this is life in the fast lane for you.
Well,
and I. For you.
I wanted to talk a little bit about what it means operating a fully operable, upholstery shop. I had a strange visitor come in today with a fluorescent coat and a big whistle, and
That was me.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah.
That was one thing that happened today.
Yeah.
And I had to finish another job, a chair. I had to wait on a couple of other customers. I had to answer the phone. I had to pay bills. This is the life of a sole proprietor, right?
Yeah, it's a lot.
And then you came in and broke the day up and everything. You talking about your many adventures. I think you spent the day watching the paint dry.
I did yesterday. I did watch the paint dry.
That's interesting. Tell me about that, Jimmy. Why don't you tell
there's a
everybody?
scientific mode of you basically sitting back at the right angle and just taking back everything, just watching things as you go through.
So salesmanship. Let's talk a little bit about salesmanship. okay, and finding a common. I had a friend tell me once that I do it naturally. I just like to talk to people, you know that, right, Jimmy? To find a common, something common to talk about. So I just wanted another customer came in, and she lives in Arlington. And we started talking about the ceremonial landscapes that the Native Americans have left behind in a lot of these communities, which I kind of went in and looked at.
Yes, because you're
Right.
pretty well versed.
So I
in
was
that.
telling her, she was open to it, so I was telling her where she lives. She lives in a part called Monotony Rocks in Arlington. It's up on a hill. And there's a place called Monotony Parks.
Yeah.
I know that this doesn't sound like it's related to upholstery right now, but I'm going to get to the point. It's
Go ahead. You're
finding,
losing people already.
well, no, it's finding when you're selling a job,
yeah.
right? You just can't be bland and blah and there, you know? You gotta have some life.
Pizzazz.
Right. So she lives near this park, and I was
Yeah.
telling her that this park was the site of some ceremonial landscapes by the Native Americans, specifically the Massachusetts tribe in Massachusetts is named after, many people might not know this, Massachusetts is the Indian tribe. So there's a tribe called the Massachusetts that lived, the main village was along the coast, almost where Boston and Arlington and Medford and those communities are right now, Somerville. But the Native Americans would build these, prayer walls, they call them, and these effigies, and it's about bringing the stars down and God down to their level so that they can worship God. So I know, Patrick, I'm getting to a point. So we had a good talk, and now this is the thing. I happen to know some local lore, some local myth about the Native Americans.
Okay.
So the Native Americans believed in the Nephilim, believed in giants. And they may or may not have had a giant amongst them, but the story is, it's a myth. Now remember, this is a myth, that the Native American maiden, giant maiden, came down the hill where this Monotony Rocks is,
Yeah.
and she had an apron,
Yeah.
and there's this beautiful pond called Spy Pond that it overlooks.
Yes.
So she let the apron go, and in her apron were all these rocks. And the rocks fell down the hill and formed a necklace around the hill, a beautiful Native American necklace.
Okay.
Now, you think that's a myth. So I was watching an old YouTube video of the development. What we did as the white person comes in, what is the first thing they do? They clear everything out. Oh, these are just rocks. They don't mean anything. So they take all the rocks away. So the interview was a geologist whose job it was to survey, and he remembered going in there and seeing a very unusual rock formation. He says, yeah, these rocks, he was describing the necklace. So the thing is that common thread, with that customer, we had a great chat that lasted about 20 minutes. And that you just can't put a value on the bond with people like that. She'll always remember that conversation. Now she knows something new about her neighborhood, and so she's got a job. She's got 4 chairs and another chair. She's got 5 chairs for me to do.
Well,
I don't think she's going to go to another upholsterer, do you?
Well, if she does, she's probably going to be worried that she's going to hear that story again.
Now, Jimmy, come on now. You got to have an open mind, Jimmy.
Did I say that? I'm
He
sorry.
was flattened the whole thing.
Wow.
Well, he put the end to that story, huh?
Put me in my place. Okay, Jimmy. Well, in that case,
Interesting stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Give me
just-
some credit.
And do we have anybody who's still awake?
I got 1 million of them, you guys.
I want to learn how to like line my muffin tin with whatever.
All right. Jimmy. Do you want to read the YouTubes?
Well, I enjoyed the story. Now I don't know about John. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Bullying.
Well, you know
I
what?
enjoyed it.
You know what, Ken? Just for you, Patrick, we'll reiterate the story tonight at dinner.
Yeah.
How's that?
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, the upholstery show. This is from RGB414.
Randy put which is Randy.
Randy, I'm here. Wow. Okay.
He put a snooze.
Hi, Kevin. Been
face.
missing most of the live Q&A Fridays. Are a bit difficult to make. A question that I never really got a good answer to. When you use a clinch it to secure springs. How do you keep someone from ripping their fingers open on the sharp prongs that can stick through the bottom of the webbing?
I have an answer for him, but before I answer that, clinch it is in the upholstery world is the cutting edge technology.
I love working with it.
It's cutting edge technology in the upholstery world.
And now, how old is that item? How old?
You're supposed to buy one. Whatever happened to that?
Well,
We have
yeah.
one.
Let's.
Yeah. Jimmy was supposed to buy.
He's supposed to buy one. Yeah, he never did. He's got a lot of promises, this guy, but he never delivers. Oh, did I say that out loud? Well, listen. So cutting edge, I talk cutting edge, that's a 100-year-old tool. In upholstery, that's cutting edge.
Yes, I think
So
it
what
is.
he's saying is, when you put that clinch it, why don't you describe to people what a clinch it does?
Oh God!
You don't have one here?
And I want you to, why don't you give the history from the very
I don't know the
beginning?
history of it like you do.
Okay, well,
I know, and I've worked with it. Probably half a dozen times.
tell people what a clinch it is.
It's a large tool about this big, all metal. Definitely, if you looked at it, you'd say, "Wow, this is old." But I mean, and actually, you've had it how long?
Even the new ones look old.
Really, nothing shiny, nothing
No,
white.
they make them out. I don't know what they make them out of, but they
Well, it's all metal. It's
they look
definitely
like the Statue of
Brown.
Liberty.
It's almost like it's
it's
rusted.
it's like a long
Yeah.
rod,
Uh,
and it in the at one end you do clinch it together. You push it down on the material.
You pull the trigger.
Pull the trigger at the same
It
time.
has
You
a
pull the
trigger.
trigger, and it clamps the upholstery coil with the webbing
Around the coil.
around
into
the coil,
webbing,
around the base
and
of the
oftentimes
coil.
leaves those
So-
prongs sticking
Well,
up.
I've never had. Yeah, they can, even though it's only.
He's lost. He's wondering how you can't hammer them back.
The only thing you could probably do is squeeze it together. I mean, it's best.
You can't really do that because you can't get a tool around the whole into the webbing. So
Yeah,
that-
I mean, unless it's just a proper way. You know, you have to.
So you
have
know what the remedy is, don't you?
What?
First of all, if you ever swallow a tack, God forbid, I don't advise people to spit tacks these days. I don't do that. But if you do spit a 6-ounce tack, or if God help you, a 14-ounce tack, or a 10-penny nail, forget about it. We'll see you later. But the 6-ounce
Come out
tack,
2 5s.
if you if you swallow a tack,
Yeah.
the remedy is quickly
Yeah.
swallow a ball of cotton behind the tack. What happens, upholsterers, this is an old upholsterer's trick. Remember, an upholsterer doesn't die, they always
Recover.
recover. So the trick is if you swallow
So
a
wait a
tack.
minute, so at your when you pass away on this your next life,
I don't intend to, but
we're gonna have shirts printed up.
yeah. So anyhow, you take a cotton
I'm gonna have
about a
about
golf
50 of
ball,
them.
about a golf ball size. First of all, a
Oh my
pound
God.
size, golf ball size, and swallow it.
You're kidding.
And what happens is the tack
Yeah.
will go around the cotton so that when you pass it in a delightful way rather than a sharp way, if you know what I mean. I think that's
No wonder why we're losing people.
It's true, it really is.
All right, moving on.
What
God
else?
almighty.
Experience.
What-
You got to come up with some
What's
better
the
stuff.
alternative? An
I
expensive
wouldn't even think
emergency
of that.
room?
I would probably like
What would you
flush
do?
it out fluids or something.
Oh no, Jimmy. Then it would get rusted and messy.
Now, the second
You
comic
think
is
it's going to
Kevin
stay
Kay.
there that long?
This guy doesn't know anything.
Oh, listen to this. Yeah, okay, well,
It happens to be true. I will tell another
I'm going to
story.
say this last question from
Oh, I have to
Janine.
answer this. I have to answer this.
What?
I have to answer the remedy about the clinch it.
You already did.
No, I don't. No, I didn't.
What was the cotton ball?
No, that was another. That was.
How did
if
we
you-
get into that one?
I know. It was
Well,
like
we're
all of a sudden
talking-
he's playing Dr. Upholstery or something.
We're talking remedies. Remedies.
Remedies
So the
for what?
remedy.
We're talking about a piece of equipment. I'm not trying to explain it. You go all of a sudden like.
First of all, it's
Oh
not
my
a piece
God.
of equipment.
Your wife must go crazy at home. She can't wait to get you out of the house in the
I
morning.
got 4 letters for what we're experiencing right now. ADHD.
Something happened down at that shop, I think. Was there a
I think
comedian in the
I
shop
think you've
that
been
night?
drinking that Irish whiskey.
The wife
St.
says.
Patty's Day is next month,
The
but I
wife's
think it's
added
starting early.
4 more letters to the ADHD for me. She said the other day,
It
BT.
just-
You know what BT means?
What's that?
Big time.
Yeah.
And the other day she said OT, overtime. So I'm ADHD, BT, OT.
Yeah, and
Big
which
time
one-
overtime.
Yeah,
But now listen, let's get to Randy's question.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah.
Stop
so, I mean-
distracting me.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, poor Randy's in here twiddling his thumbs waiting for the...
Randy, it's very simple. Take a half a layer of cotton before you put the cambric on. Just spread it over the webbing and the clinches. A half layer over the whole thing, and then put the cambric on. That's the solution. That it's big enough, it'll be thick enough that the end of the clinch won't come through.
Well, anytime I've ever used it, it's been a very. I mean, you tell me, it's steady. It has to be steady. It has to be firm.
Yeah.
Clinch it right to
Yeah.
it. I don't think I've had too many accidents where it's been.
It's a pretty interesting machine. Now, it's taken the place of hand stitching the springs on the bottom. And hand
Yes.
stitching a spring is not as effective. In most cases, I like hand stitching.
You
Like
did
we're
it
gonna do
once.
this.
You did it once for
Yeah,
me.
we showed people. I use, if I'm going to hand stitch it, Randy, if you ever want to hand stitch it, I take the nylon tufting twine and I put it in 3 points. By the way, you get 3 clinches on each spring, too.
Yes.
But when you're putting the twines in, you have them come down the bottom and do slip knots. Really get it tight, and then cut them about 1 inch away from the bottom. Now, in the old days, I used to use cotton threads and would just stitch around the bottom. I don't like that as much. I think that if it loosens up, the whole thing loosens up, and I've seen springs turn as a result. And the cotton thread's not long lasting as the nylon, but they didn't have nylon. So
No, of
the
course not.
clinch came out in answer to that problem.
I wonder who invented that.
Probably Mr. Clinchit.
You should have never asked.
All right, Jimmy.
Oh
Now,
my
any
God.
questions or comments?
You know, I
Yeah,
tell
let's
you.
just shut up and get back to the upholstery.
Oh, is that what Randy says?
Okay, let me. This is from Girl Genius. This is the.
Girl genius.
I'm new to your channel. Well, probably not after today. My question is, do I need a chair roll? I've watched the upholstery videos and have not seen one done.
A chair roll.
However, the chair that I am attempting to do has one.
A Tootsie Roll.
Yes,
We used to call them Tootsie Rolls.
like these.
I don't. Is she referring to that, Jimmy?
I don't know.
She
There's
could be
a-
referring to 2 rolls that I know of. A Tootsie Roll, which is a finish like for a finish like a throw pillow,
Okay.
like a finish. Or if she referring, what does she say? A chair roll? You think it's this?
I'm assuming
Any
that's what it
pitches?
might be. No pitches. Sorry.
Oh, so we used to hand make this. You can hand make this with burlap.
And
But I would suggest, even though this is an antique, this is a roll that they come in 3 different sizes.
Mhm.
Finger, middle. I call it a middle roll and a bigger fox edging. Don't ask me what the finger roll. I know where they came from. I don't know where they got the fox edging. That's the biggest one. But I like the pre-made ones.
yeah, I mean,
I think they can get on tighter. You really have to get these on tight. If she's talking about a Tootsie Roll, she's talking about a round bolster. That's a whole different subject.
All right, so
It's all about the filling. You can make it. It's all about the filling on those things.
okay.
They always have to be really sculpted to make them work. Soft filling doesn't work on those. So what's the next one?
This is I'm saving another one for last, but anyway, this is from Randy. Just my 2 cents. I assume you are talking about edge roll. Yes, you should use it. It is a padding that prevents your fabric from wearing out quickly on the wood edge. About the only place I can think of not using it as a slip or drop-in seat.
So he's answering her question. So that's good. He's
Okay.
answering that other person.
The last one is from Janine. Could we do a tour of the basement, please? It would be very interesting.
I agree.
I
Well-
saved that because
Yeah.
you and I have.
Well, Jimmy, I think
Jimmy
if you
wants to
come
go
down there,
exploring down there.
there's
Well,
an-
no, I'll tell you. When I went down there, I hadn't been down there since the time that you had the dog down there, and it was cleaned up
Yeah, it
very
was
well.
very clean, remember?
But you know,
Put it
it's
this way, it's now a fire hazard.
it is now a fire hazard. Yes, absolutely.
Well, do you have your manifesto written? You wrote your manifesto.
I,
down
you know
there,
what?
didn't
I would have to move things out of that basement to get it the way I wanted to make it. And you know what we need to do really is to have a sale on
I
what
agree.
we have.
I agree.
A sale on what fabric.
Would you be
whatever.
willing to help with that, Jimmy?
Absolutely. You buy me a
Jimmy's
coffee.
a great guy. I buy
You
a
buy me a
coffee.
coffee and a nice chocolate chip muffin.
Decaffeinated?
No, I want fully leaded.
I found out something new today.
What's that?
That the stop. Can I mention a brand name, Patrick?
A leading,
Yes.
a leading coffee maker.
A leading coffee maker. I'll use another name for. What's another name for star? Planet. What's another name for buck?
Might as well say it.
Oh my God! Have you been? Do you smoke on the way over here?
Something.
Anyhow,
In the air
I found out that their new blonde blend
Yeah, it's
is
not blonde.
No, it has a lot of caffeine, like extra caffeine,
Oh, I didn't know
and
that.
that's why I like it. But I'm not supposed to have a lot of caffeine. I have high blood pressure.
I have one coffee a day. That's it.
The
I'm
doctor
done.
asked me, do you have any friends? I said, yeah, I got one friend. His name is Jimmy. That's why you have high blood pressure.
Yeah, yeah,
Not me.
yeah. You can also blame me for the Red Sox for finishing in last place the last couple of years.
Titanic.
Titanic, yeah.
What else? What else?
The
could-
Hindenburg.
I knew that was directly related to you.
Yeah. Jimmy just looked up and there he was. There's gonna be a problem somewhere.
What now is the Facebook page? I lost the Facebook on here, on the phone.
Gene posted too.
Can you read it? Oh, Jimmy, can you get it up there? You're the administrator.
I
By the
can.
way, I love your new hairstyle. Who's your hairdresser?
It's called me. Who did me and ran?
What happened?
Nothing. I was like working
Oh, I
today.
know. It's the new plug. You put your finger in the electrical outlet.
Yeah, watch this. I want to see if it's.
Let me see your phone. I can get it up then.
Oh, brother, I'm gonna have to go off camera for a moment. Jimmy, would you
Oh,
fill
yeah,
in?
yeah,
Would
I
you
can-
fill in the blank
Yeah,
time?
Yes,
Yeah,
while
that's
Kevin
fine,
gets
yeah.
lost on the way back or to and from. My God, that's how
Come on,
you.
Jimmy, fill
The
in
man,
time.
the man is just he's like somebody famous. We have a famous president, and I think he's that way today. The words escape me right now, but hopefully we're gonna be.
Tell a joke.
There we go.
Oh, we got it.
Gee.
Never mind.
Well, I was gonna say, our
Well,
horse
stay
walk,
standing up to get the shot.
the horse walks into a bar and says,
Oh no, that's not a clean joke, Jimmy.
"No, wait a minute." The horse
Is it
walks
a
into
glue
a bar.
joke? Nobody
the
likes
bartender
glue
asks him,
jokes.
"Why the long face?" But
Yeah, I haven't heard that one before.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I thought you were going to tell a glue joke. That wouldn't be in good taste.
Never
Oh,
heard that
stop
one,
it.
never.
God Almighty, man.
Because we have two. Did you know that we have two people in the audience right now
Yes, I know.
who
They
volunteer at a horse farm? By the
I
way,
think
can
that's
we
a
plug?
great-
Can we plug the horse farm, Patrick?
Yeah, of course.
What's the name of the horse farm?
Michaela?
It's
Haybird.
Hayburin.
Hayber Inn, and
Randy,
it's
that's a funny comment.
it's in Connecticut. And Michaela and Patrick do they do a Halloween thing or what is it, Christmas theme thing? What do you do?
Yeah,
for
they have
them?
all that stuff.
But you volunteer. You both volunteer, and they
you
have
guys
these-
go. What? You guys go down there on the weekend, or what is it you do?
Just when they're having events lately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 'cause
They
like
have these
the-
beautiful
But I mean,
animals.
could you go down there like and take care of the horses?
Yeah, you can go anytime.
Wow.
There are a lot of people who do that.
Wow. I have never. I've only seen horses from a distance.
Would you like? Why don't you take Jimmy down with you, Patrick, one time?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You should
Would you go, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get some horse hair while we're at that.
You've never even been there either, Dan.
No.
They're always
Oh, you
accepting new
have to ride with you.
What, Michaela?
They're always accepting new applications for volunteers.
And they need do-re-mi, right? I would imagine. They need money. They're a non-profit.
Well, we could bring some hay. I mean, buy some hay. How much hay do you want to contribute to the horses?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Malcolm has a good point. Get some horsepower while we're down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are obviously. Oh my God, you guys.
Randy
Are,
was really so Jimmy, were you playing on the third rail again? It sure sounds
oh
like
yeah.
Maybe you got hit over the top of the head by something.
Which is jealous. He's got a nice ample head of hair there, man. I'm
Yeah,
jealous.
yeah.
I thought you got a concussion or
So
something.
Randy a wise ass, so she had to turn him off.
Well,
Randy
now
wants you blocked.
let's
though.
get to
That won't happen.
Facebook.
Randy-
Yeah,
Randy contributes
I'll come
way
back
too
to you
much.
one way or another. I know.
Well, now that you mentioned third rail, I have to, on a serious note, talk about this now.
What?
We have a hero amongst us. You know,
You already told
No,
the
you- yeah,
story
you told
again.
us.
did I tell it?
Yeah, you saved somebody.
Yeah.
Not only did he save somebody, he saved him twice.
No, once.
First he jumped in, and then he tried to go over with the
Yeah,
foot.
that
That's
was all
saving
one.
somebody twice.
I wouldn't say this.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, he's a hero.
You and Rose bring it up, and I'm like, don't bring it up. Don't.
Well, I know, because you're embarrassed. You would. That's a natural thing to be when you're a hero.
Oh, yeah.
I mean it too.
Yeah.
How many guys would jump in a? These bays were about what, 5, 6 feet down.
About 6 feet.
6 feet. You got the trains coming.
Yep.
Not to mention.
Yeah.
You got the trains bearing down on you. This fella, he just wants to end it, I guess, huh?
Oh yeah, young guy too. That's the amazing part of it. It's
terrible.
it's really sad when you find out some of the stories behind
Yeah.
why someone does it, and we've had some stories that.
So
Yeah.
tell us what happened, if you don't mind.
I was doing a very long day, and what had happened was this train coming into the station had stopped and blown its horn. And I looked down, and there I see this gentleman jump into the right-of-way where the running rails and the third rail was. And I start moving down on him, and I caught him actually about a foot away from the third rail.
He was hell-bent on.
I pinned him down.
Wow. But he could have reached over his foot and...
Yeah, if he'd done, then it would have definitely, like, like from here to me to you, it was,
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible, Jim.
Yeah.
I don't know of too many people that would do that.
Well, it happens. Things happen.
I don't know. It takes a special person. Thank you for that. I wonder. Hopefully he went
I
on
hope that generally they try again. I mean, I've heard stories where people, they just whatever mode of thinking they're in, which is obviously not good. It's not a sight that you really, especially for a young guy.
Yeah.
He seemed like you look at a young guy and say, "Oh my God, really? You have a lot of potential. What's going on? That's really that bad."
Maybe it was just a moment. Hopefully, it was just a moment in his life.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody's had a bad day, you kind of, God, I wish I could, just end it all. Some people, that's just a phrase that some people use, but I think it's just a sense of frustration when some people say that.
My dad was on the police. He would tell me that on any particular day, you could be the hero or the coward.
Oh yeah.
And he said you can never tell in a group of men. It has nothing to do with size or one day they could be the hero, and the next day they could be running the other way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah.
That particular day, he was lucky that you were there and that you were in that mode.
Mm.
Well, thank you for that, Jimmy.
Well, no problem.
So, Jean, we're going to go to Facebook now.
Okay.
And Jean says she says installed a back first welt coating, then curve ease, the heavy duty type. Now it's interesting. The curve ease is the heavy duty, and the ply grip is the light duty. People get mixed up with that.
Okay. Well, we'll go into that.
And even I get mixed up sometimes. I ordered the ply grip, and I got the curve ease. Even the supplier gets mixed up with this
Oh
stuff.
God, there you go. A chain of events.
But I have to use it because I can't send it back. I needed it. It's harder to use. I like the softer stuff.
Okay.
The ply grip is the soft. And she says, type then canvas support layer and layer of cotton before show fabric. The bottom welt coating and dust cover. Cut out foam, added Dacron over it, and cut it and sewed the seat cushion cover. Wrapped in vacuum seat foam into cover, added little Dacron into the front corners. Called client, and she came and picked it up and sent me a picture of it in her home, telling me she loves it. Wow, that was a mouthful, wasn't it?
Yeah. Can you say that again? Now, how come Patrick can't put that up on the screen?
Now, I want people to see this. Now,
Oh, wow.
Look at the
That is
front
classy.
boxing on that.
Wow.
Now, you guys, come on now. Jean, you are really doing some good work. Do you see that, Randy? Just look how straight her boxing is. Look at the piping. Now she has contrasting piping, so it's not going to lie, right? It highlights the boxing,
And you guys can go on the forum.
Meaning-
see a better quality.
meaning that it wouldn't hide any mistakes, right? Now she's got a paneled arm with the contrasting welt, and she's got the outsides with the contrasting welt. And she did something a little unusual, Jimmy. She put the velvet on the bottom of the seat, on the bottom.
Yeah,
on the
I like
seat.
that. That accents everything.
That's a little different.
That is classy.
I notice Jean she's been having some fun with design, I noticed. So let's read, and she's showing the back here before she put, oh, and do you guys see, I think, if you guys look at this, she's got clinchets, Randy. There are clinchets on the back springs. So she's got to be careful with that, right? You don't want that coming through. So definitely a layer of cotton. Sometimes I put webbing over the back like that so that I know that those clinchets aren't going to come through. And then, oh, she put a piece of canvas or something over it. That's good. And then, what is she doing here? Oh, she's showing us the cake right there. Not a cooking show, Jimmy. Although you cook, right?
I cook and bake.
No wonder why you like upholstery, because upholstery is like cooking, isn't it? And that's the finished
It's
outside
exact.
back. Any comments or questions, Patrick? Jimmy's hairstyle. Jimmy's
Randy
got
says, great looking chair. I think contrast wealth is a good look.
We used to, in the 90s, do a lot of that, at least in the New England area. I think we tend to be more conservative, Patrick, as far as upholstery. What do you think, Jimmy?
Yeah, I definitely think, come bring the old new back, switch it around, get some ideas. Always.
And I think I lost, what was the second one there, Patrick, on Facebook? Can you get it up again? I'm sorry. There was another posting from somebody else, wasn't there?
Malcolm.
This
is the only slip covers I do in my shop. It looks really long.
The only
Whatever that is.
the only slip cover?
What is that, Malcolm? Sorry if I...
Oh no,
It's obvious.
you know what that is. That's a non-slip work thing, right? That he's got. He's just being facetious.
It looks
He
like...
is, yeah, I don't know.
It's just for he doesnn't fall on his
Oh, I
butt.
thought it was a long piece of fabric.
It
Is it
is.
that?
I don't know what he's used there. If it's made, is he there watching?
Yeah, you can tell it.
Is that a homemade job, Malcolm? A homemade mat? I know that they sell these.
Slip cover, yeah.
They sell these in a rubber mats. With
If that's what it is, that'd be funny.
Yeah. Oh, he's showing us how he's showing us on the sewing machine making it. Hey, listen, it's
That's a technically made one. Oh no, it's a cover for a sale.
oh, it is.
Oh, that's really cool.
Oh, wow.
What is it made out of?
Well, he says one of 3 sail covers for a 50-foot sloop. Wow. I wonder if it was John Bean's sloop. Do you know who John Bean is?
That was the song.
Oh, was it? Can you sing it?
No. Now you're really pushing it.
All right, I think that's going to do it, Patrick.
That's really cool, though.
Patrick, anybody on there? How about, where's our Australian friend?
Acrylic canvas. Wow, cool.
That is cool. Where's our Australian friend been, Patrick?
I don't know, the time difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Janine, right?
Yeah.
Does she kick in? She
I
usually...
know she watched them later.
Yeah. Hi, Janine. And hi, everybody that watches this later. Forgive
Forgive
Jimmy's,
So I'll edit them out of the afterwards. Actually, I don't like getting all over you. He's the one acting crazy today, Jim.
Do you want to talk about this beautiful job that you're doing? And what
Well,
you
this
did
is the second one we
last
actually.
time?
Well, you started a second one, but this we are showing the ABCs of putting on a new. This is definitely a different style. I mean, you could have. I don't know. Could you have done it? How could you have done it with the foam? Can you tell me that?
Well, you definitely need the webbing if you're going to do foam.
Right, but how thick?
Be the same.
How thick would be the foam?
Well, the difference is, Jimmy, and that's a good question, you guys. So what we're doing is we're doing a traditional webbing, burlap, horsehair. I want you to talk about these edge rolls in a minute.
Okay.
And then the thing about the having the bigger edge roll is with the horsehair, we can hand stitch, the horsehair has to be hand stitched to the edge roll, which makes a transition. When you guys, if you watch my videos, we're always talking about transition lines. This is really important. So we're going to have one layer and then a second layer, but we're going to do a series of blanket stitching, and we're going to skim the top of this to hold on to
this
with
is something new.
pins. Yeah. Now, if you were doing a foam seat, you still need an edge roll, but you would go
Why?
down to, you always need an edge. Some people put the foam in, they turn the foam and they just staple the foam along the edge.
Well, that's the way I would have thinking. Like
That's not a good idea. They very easily pull away at some point. See, upholsterers, manufacturers don't think this way at all. They think the opposite. They do think like, oh, let it pull away. let the front edge get worn, let the fabric wear through the front edge, and then my customer who loves me because I sold him the sofa 7 years ago will come back and get a new sofa. And when they say, why can't I upholster this? Oh, no, you don't want to go to those people. That's what they say, by the way. Those people. You know who those people are, don't you?
Yeah, we know that.
Upholsterers.
Yeah.
Upholsterers are the enemy of a manufacturer.
Well, wouldn't they, if they were using
But let me follow up. We, as upholsterers, and the way I was trained, and the way I train everybody that watches these videos or going to buy the videos, is to make something last 50 to 100 years.
Okay.
Not 5 to 7 years.
Right.
And I love talking about it because they got their hand. You ever get your hand caught in a cookie jar at home?
Yes.
What happens to your hand? Right?
Well, 3 or 4 cookies later.
But that's what happened with the manufacturers when they this is a common knowledge I had, maybe not common knowledge, it was knowledge that I knew, that with the COVID, our seating went up 1,000%. We're all home.
Right.
And they weren't counting on that. And if you bought a sofa or a love seat or chair, whatever, from one of these manufacturers a week before COVID, you're looking at the end of COVID, which was a lot of people 2 years and lockdown, whatever it was. They wore out their seating. Either the frame broke or these rips developed in the piece. So that tradition, that's what we're trying to capture, you guys. Make no mistake. The reason I love doing these videos is to keep these traditions alive.
Well, again, with the foam question, I said, I wonder what you really have to do to kind of, bring it back, number one, but also retain a shape. I mean, given the fact that it's a very unique.
Well, here's the funny thing about foam as opposed to horsehair.
Right.
If it's a professional upholsterer doing, he's going to get the same look as a horsehair seat.
Oh, yeah.
He or she is going to achieve this if they know the
because
transition
they can put,
lines
yeah,
and all that.
without the edge
So
roll.
what we do, we go to if we're going to do foam, we'd go to a smaller edge roll.
Right.
Maybe a layer of cotton in here, and then maybe 1 inch. And we always have to keep in mind the scale. And this is a very dainty chair, so it would be a 1 inch piece of foam. And the thing about a 1 inch piece of foam is you could take that over the edge and staple along here.
Okay.
And that takes care that you have a good transition line, and then you still need to use a muslin over that because you don't want that foam, pulling away.
Right.
But we would that would look you'd be hard pressed to tell the difference between the foam seat and the horsehair seat.
Okay.
Now it has to be the good polyurethane too. It has to be a good foam.
But also, when you need trimming with that to.
Oh yeah, well you have to trim up.
Like, yeah. Okay.
With the fabric. So. Any other questions, comments, Patrick?
Manufacturers are winning. They make furniture that falls apart. It's a life cycle. Its life cycle is from the store to your house to the dump. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, again, I had somebody who asked me about it because they had bought a sectional from a furniture store and they only had it 5 or 6 years, and they asked me about, if I was still in the upholstery thing, and I said yes. I said. So, decide on what they wanted to do. And with little conversation, I mean, like I say, to her, I would think it was like an 8-piece sectional. She wanted to have it all done, taken over. And she was debating on whether to have an upholstery do it or to basically get a new one. And she decided on getting a new one, which to each his own, but, she only said that she had I think the furniture was only 5 or 6 years old.
That's
the upholstery, the fabric was already pretty well shot. So
that's why I'm excited for our next class. People are going to see how we take that store-bought furniture and make it 10 times better. That's going to be cool, right?
Yeah, we can change a little bit if we can, and see what Dad wants to experiment with.
Yeah. So, Jimmy, are you ready to start your second class on these?
Yeah. I think we've gone well with this so far. So,
All right, guys.
How many of these are we doing? So this will be out soon. This class here.
These will only be at most 4 classes. This is a quick class.
So only halfway through.
Okay. Yep. Oh well, after today we'll be halfway through. All right, Jimmy.
Yep.
Jimmy, say goodbye to all your fans and admirers out there.
Yes, thank you for all the cards and letters. And my birthday's coming up soon, so April is a hot month, everyone.
Your birthday's in April?
Yes.
So is mine.
Really?
What day?
26th.
On the 6th.
Oh, the hell.
6th and 26th.
I'm not even close to you. Get out of here. We'll have to have Dad
I
take
never
us out
knew
for
that.
lunch.
Yeah, maybe we'll
Wow.
pick a date in between.
All these years we've known each other, I never knew that.
Yep.
Malcolm, one more thing from Malcolm. When
Yeah.
couches are made from foam and flat springs, there's not much to value in reupholstery. It
Yeah,
likely costs more than the new one.
yeah, that's
So
right.
this will be a rare kind of thing, because that usually doesn't
Yeah.
happen.
I
We
mean,
want to do it for fun, so we're going to do
yeah,
it.
just to see. I mean,
Yeah.
some people they do it. just to-
Maybe upgrading is the way to go. Convince people that they can
That's
upgrade.
why it might be a good thing to do.
Yeah.
People can watch us and be convinced that, see
Sure.
how much better we can make this thing. So you got to be on the spot here, Jimmy, with this next project.
Oh yeah.
There you go, Jimmy. So, we'll see you guys
Thanks,
next
guys.
time.
Bye.
Jimmy, we're actually, I can't remember putting this on.